Good afternoon, everyone. Pastor Ron Brown here with Pastor Laura Kistart from the First Congregational Church in Southington, Connecticut, with a preview of our worship services for this coming Sunday, September 29th.
So this upcoming Sunday, we gather for worship first at 8 a.m. in the Barnes Memorial Chapel. Our chapel service is a brief worship service, an opportunity to come together to sing a hymn, hear a scripture reading and sermon from Pastor Ron, and to celebrate the sacrament of communion. So we invite you to join us 8 a.m. in the Barnes Memorial Chapel for our first early worship service. We continue worship on Sunday morning with our 10:15 service here in our historic meeting house. Our 10:15 service features a variety of vibrant music styles. There's really something for everyone, and during our 10:15 service, we invite the children to come forward for a holy surprise and then to go off to age-appropriate church school lessons for the remainder of the worship service. We live stream our 10:15 service, so you can join us virtually live on Sunday morning, or it is archived and available to watch later in the week.
So this week we continue our journey through the narrative lectionary, reading through some of the major stories in the Old Testament, more or less in chronological order. This week we move to the book of Exodus, and we will be reading the story of the Passover, which led to the children, the Hebrew people, being freed from the slavery in Egypt and beginning a journey to a land that God had promised. So there are a lot of interesting parts of this story, and it is a story that God instructs them to tell every year, and Jews to this day celebrate that story and tell that story during Passover. So I'm going to be looking at some of the details of the story, but also kind of reflecting on why is ritual and why is story and why are the things that we do to remember the things that God has done for us important. One of the verses in chapter 13 I'll be focusing on is when a child asks why we do this, the answer is, it is because of what the Lord has done for us. So I'm going to invite you to think about what the Lord has done for you and how that has shaped your life and how you might be able to share it with others.
We are quickly coming up on a very busy season of life here at the church. So Apple Harvest is just around the corner. It's the first 2 weekends of October. And so first, we hope that you will join us, and we hope that you will volunteer if you're able. There are all sorts of ways to volunteer throughout Apple Harvest, both during the week, on the weekends, here in person, or also just dropping things off. There's lots of different slots to fill, and so we hope you'll take a look. There's an online sign up posted a lot of different places, but if you have any trouble, please just feel free to call the church office, and Desiree in the office can connect you, and we can get you signed up for some of the different volunteer opportunities. But that also means because of Apple Harvest, we won't be worshiping here after this Sunday. It will be 2 weeks that will be in other locations. So the first Sunday in October, we will go and worship with our neighbors down the road in Plantsville at Plantsville Congregational Church. So we hope that you'll join us for that. Their worship service is at 10 a.m. And so that's the first Sunday of Apple Harvest. And then the second Sunday of Apple Harvest, we will gather for worship at the YMCA Camp Sloper. Hopefully we'll have some beautiful fall weather, and we will have a blessing of the animals as a part of our service that Sunday. So there's always, wonderful things happening here at the church during Apple Harvest, and we get to celebrate in some new special locations.
The other thing we want to remind you of is our book study coming up for this fall. It's called Public Faith for Troubled Times. It is based on a book by a Yale Divinity School professor named Miroslav Volf. It is an exploration of how, as Christians, we can live in a world where we don't always agree with each other. What are the important things for us to look at? And I look forward to having that discussion together as we read this book together. There are some brief video clips that we will be watching that will help focus our discussion and do some discussion questions and really just learn from each other. So if you'd like to participate in that study, it is going to be on Wednesday evening starting next week on October 2nd from 7 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. It will be completely on Zoom. Just email Pastor Laura or me or the church office and we can get you signed up. We can send you a link to either download the book from the library or to purchase your own copy of the book. And the study will go for 5 consecutive weeks, so all of the Wednesday nights during October. So we hope you can join us for that.
So as you can hear, there's a lot going on in the life of the church. We hope to see you in person soon or connect with you virtually.
God bless.